Yeah, there's turds all through here.
A woman on the south side living with 27 cats.
The epitome of my embarrassment.
On the northwest side, dog after dog, many already dead, found in a home under piles of trash.
This is probably one of the worst ones that we've seen.
Just last week, more than 50 dogs hauled out of a mobile home in Atascosa County. In all three cases, investigators classified the homeowners as hoarders.
I think it's in all neighborhoods.
They are able to maintain themselves and go to work.
We've done millionaires, we've done people in public housing.
They go to school, they have all kinds of other activities, but they also are hoarders or collectors.
Pack rat. My mother called it pack rat.
Alice has been collecting since she was a teenager.
Papers. Papers, newspapers.
Piles and piles of papers.
Causing the floor to sag in some of the rooms. They were so heavy, they were piled up to the ceiling.
Magazines, journals, even school papers from her days as a teacher.
I taught 34 years and I kept one of each paper from every child that I taught.
Her roommate wouldn't let us shoot video inside the house, but Alice says she's moved most of the papers to a 10x25 storage facility after being reported to Adult Protective Services by her roommate and her sister.
It's mainly my sister reporting me. I probably would have gone on forever just thinking I'm going to get to these one day.
Joanne Tobias Molina of Adult Protective Services says hoarding cases make up 15 to 20% of their workload. It comes in all forms.
It gets out of control for that person, and then they don't know really how to stop doing this.
If a hoarder does agree to an intervention or passes away, it's often the job of people like Charlie Moore to clean up the mess.
We took 28,000 pounds of household garbage out of a 980 square foot home.
Moore runs Crime Clean of Texas and says he's called out to a hoarder house about every 2 weeks. He's seen it all.
There was a chest freezer that was totally full of cats. It's your job to try and make sense of it and bring some order back into the chaos.
A job most definitely not for the squeamish.
We've gone in, and when you get to a certain level and you disturb the fleas, you all of a sudden become black and everyone is infested.
These are pictures from one of Charlie's cleanup jobs that involved a food hoarder. Throughout the house, unopened bottles and canned goods, so old they'd fermented.
Be in there and it just pop and start spraying all over you. The worst one is tomatoes. Canned tomatoes.
Since starting this business back in 1995, Moore says he's witnessed a growing public awareness of hoarding, which has translated into more customers.
I'm seeing a lot more hoarding cases now. You know, there's a show on television called The Hoarders.
Just last month, the A&E program Hoarders featured a San Antonio family on the northeast side.
Why do you think that's worth $2,000?
It is. Look at it. It's from way, way back. From the old country. I bet you it still plays.
So people are going, well, if they can do it, I can do it.
You think, well, I'm not as unusual as I thought I was. I'm part of a growing number of people.
There are success stories, but much like that lady with the cats on the south side, hoarders often resist change and become isolated from family members who try to intervene.
You know that when they come in, they're going to be angry at you and they're going to want you to get rid of your stuff.
And so the hoarding continues undetected and the piles get bigger.
It grows and grows and grows.
Literally just enough space for someone to walk through.
Sometimes it gets to the extent where they just lay on a pile of trash like a little nest.
Adult Protective Services, code enforcement, animal care services, and other law enforcement do what they can to investigate. But
hauling off the trash is just kind of like throwing all the beer cans away from an alcoholic. The problem is still there.
Unless there's also some kind of therapy intervention, that person is very likely to continue to collect.
It's a mental condition that needs to be handled by a health professional.
Charlie Moore has seen the results when people accept that. He's received the calls for help from the hoarders themselves.
You don't have to apologize to us. It's our job, if you so choose, for us to help make it better.
As for Alice,
well, after being reported twice, I'm going to be much more careful, believe me. People are after me to control it.
Robert Price, Fox News at 9.